In the past 3 years, Americans have paid more for Israel's defense budget than Israelis themselves, according to the Israeli Army's former chief of staff. The United States gave nearly $3.1 billion to Israel this year, making it the #1 contributor of American foreign aid.
At a time when the United States is having great financial difficulties, many Americans are having trouble paying their bills. There are senior citizens that cannot afford their medications. There are military veterans who are underserved. Some of them are homeless and on the streets. There are schools that have overcrowded classrooms that are closing down. And yet, during this time, we're giving a huge amount of money to Israel.
Israel ranks among the top 30 richest countries in the world, while some of the poorest countries only see a fraction of that amount in U.S. aid. Because the money is given in a lump sum at the beginning of the year, rather than being distributed in increments, the U.S. is paying more interest on the money it borrows to give the aid to Israel. According to the Congressional Research Center, once dispersed, Israel's military aid is transferred to an interest-bearing account with the Federal Reserve Bank. This means Americans are paying interest on the billions of dollars given to Israel, while Israel accumulates interest on those same billions. Allison Weir of If Americans Knew states there are other areas where the U.S. government spends because of Israel.
There's other aid that we give abroad that's basically on behalf of Israel. So we give about $2 billion a year to Egypt and to Jordan. That was to buy them off from opposing Israeli human rights violations and from supporting the human rights of Palestinian people. So that's an additional $4 billion at least per year that really goes in the Israel column.
With U.S. presidential elections around the corner, each of the two major parties' candidates have made promises to cut spending in order to decrease the staggering U.S. debt of $16 trillion. These include in the public and social service sectors.
Right now, the U.S. shouldn't be spending money on anybody, period. Okay?
Like, we have our own taxes and they're pretty high. We need to lower our own instead of paying for some other country.
Israeli military commander Gabi Ashkenazi, who made the statements during a conference last month, was issued an arrest warrant in 2010 by Turkey for ordering the assault on the humanitarian flotilla, resulting in the death of 9 civilians. In 2008, a complaint was filed against Ashkenazi at The Hague for war crimes and crimes against humanity in the Israeli siege and subsequent bombardment of Gaza. Marjan Asi, Press TV, Washington.